Well, today, let's talk about why I would never buy a Sprinter. So the Sprinter made by Mercedes-Benz is a beautiful van. It's a luxury model Mercedes. It's, in many ways, top of the class. I've been reading a lot about ProMasters and Transits, and what I'm noticing is that I'm on a ProMaster Facebook forum and a Transit Facebook forum, and the ProMasters have a lot of stupid little problems. Sorry to put it bluntly, but the spring actuator in the hood doesn't release, the doors are having problems, the headlights are huge. The headlights are like burning out after less than a year in the vehicle, and people had the van for 3 years and then replaced the headlights like over 10 times. Totally ridiculous. You don't have that with Sprinter, and you have that a little bit with Ford as well, but the Transits tend to be 2 or 3 issues, like mainly the U-joint issue, and then a few other smaller things. But with the ProMaster, it's like one thing after another, from what I've been reading. And I know that people, when they talk about their vans, and they're talking about it on a forum or whatever, they're highlighting people that are like really happy about their vehicle, aren't really going and complaining about what the issue is and all this stuff as much as people that are upset and want to vent. So that's got to be taken into consideration, and take that with a grain of salt. Having said that, I don't hear about anything with the Sprinter about all these little silly problems. They're built better, frankly. But there are a number of reasons that I wouldn't buy a Sprinter. So let's talk about those. First of all, I wouldn't buy a diesel vehicle. There's a number of reasons for that. Some people say you save money with the diesel. Some people say you won't. And okay, let's talk about miles per gallon. Yes, you're going to get way better mileage in a diesel vehicle, but your maintenance costs are way higher. For example, I've been reading that to change the oil in a Sprinter, which are all diesel, costs $600, $500, $600 people are paying. That's outrageous to change the oil for that. It takes way more oil, and I don't know, for some reason they feel they need to charge way more. I think that's outrageous. So if you're saving, $20 a month or $30 a month in fuel because you're using diesel versus gas, but you have to pay $500 every 6 months for an oil change versus $50 at the outset, all your gas savings are being eaten up. So that's one thing. Another reason I don't like diesel, this is not really an issue for me, but it would be for a lot of other people that travel, is that it's harder to find diesel at gas stations. If you're out driving in the small town America or small town Canada, and your vehicle takes diesel and the gas station doesn't have diesel, and that's the last gas station for 50 to 100 kilometers, and that could be a problem. So that's another strike against diesel. I don't like the sound of the diesels. I find them way louder, especially the older vehicles. It sounds like, man, especially if you're trying to be a bit stealthy and you start this vehicle up at 7 o'clock in the morning in a quiet area, and it's like rub, 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 rub. It's like, that's loud. That's minor, but it is a complaint. So I don't like diesel. We touched upon maintenance costs in terms of oil changes, but the Sprinter vans are way more expensive to fix for a number of reasons. Basically, you have to take them to a dealership, and dealerships always charge more money. What I try to do is hire a mechanic off Craigslist that's certified, and he'll charge like, his labor will be like 50% cheaper than a garage, and the garages are usually cheaper than the dealership. So if you have to bring your vehicle to a dealership, you're paying way more money for maintenance. Change your water pump, you're going to be paying way more money. So that's a strike against the Sprinter in that way, is that you have to bring it to a dealership. Unless you know a really qualified diesel mechanic, but those are much harder to find. Maintenance costs on a Sprinter are way higher. I just read about this guy who had to pay $8,000 to get his differential fixed on a Sprinter, which is outrageous. That's such a huge amount of money to fix something like that. Like way over double what it should have cost. So yeah, you're driving a luxury model, and you're going to be paying luxury maintenance costs. Part of the reason you have to bring your Sprinter to a dealership is because these vehicles are designed in Germany, and I really like the German design ethic. I think they're fabulous at that kind of stuff, but they build their vehicles expecting consumers to do all the required maintenance when it's supposed to be done, and basically be really that's, how do you put that? They're basically really interested and invested into maintaining their vehicle. It's not just like put the key in, change oil, put the gas in, and you're good. There's maintenance stuff that has to be done. So the German engineering, I remember I used to have an Audi back in the day, and it was I think I bought it for $1,800. It was an old model, and you had to take half the freaking engine apart to change the fan belt, which, to do something like that, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, an old American car, it's like, take this, move this, and there it is. If you have to spend $200, I think it cost me over $200. I couldn't believe it, to change this fan belt, which is outrageous, and it's just the way German cars are engineered. So having said that, the mom and pops have a harder time, like your local garage will have a harder time, because these vehicles, like the Sprinters and Mercedes, they require special tools. And so if it costs $400 for a tool, and you're going to work on this vehicle how often as a mom and pop dealer or garage, are you going to spend the money on that one tool for that one kind of vehicle? Maybe, maybe not. Then there's the diagnostic equipment. You need special software, special computers, special this, to figure out what's going on with the engine, with the Sprinters and Mercedes and things. So again, your local garage is not likely to carry that sophisticated equipment, because it costs a lot of money. It's always about money, right? It's like they have to balance whether buying this equipment is worth it financially for them based on how many vehicles they're going to get. Now, if every vehicle, if 2/3 of the vehicles that you're going to have brought into your garage require this sophisticated equipment, well, they're going to invest in it. But if it's only like 5 or 10%, not that likely, right? It makes financial sense for them to say, you better bring that to the dealership. And then you're paying like, you know, hundreds of dollars an hour for maintenance costs or whatever it might be in your area. I will say this, if you're going to buy a Sprinter, it's better to buy them before 2007. So the year 2006 and before. As 2007 and after is when they changed the regulations on the diesel engines, and ever since they've been having big problems with the DEF system getting all gunged up. I don't understand all the logistics of it. I'm not a mechanic, people. So if you have a lot of money and the Sprinter is something you just have your heart set on, feel free to buy one. But for many of us, I would say the majority of us, it wouldn't be a wise decision because the maintenance costs are so high that it makes it an untenable solution as a vehicle choice. Personally, I would lean towards a Transit. Thanks for watching, and be well, my friends.